now available in paperback and e-readers, The Temptation of Shawn Haynes. Give in to temptation and pick up this action-packed African-American paranormal romance. Get The Temptation of Shawn Haynes in paperback and e-readers today. One of my viewers asked me what I would do if I had $8 million. Now, in this hypothetical situation, this viewer is proposing that asking me what I would do if I had $8 million, and the answer to that question is very simple. I would use it to improve the quality of my life, and I would use it to expand my business. Now, when it comes to my business, I would use that $8 million as the start of a foundation for expanding my business ventures like the SJS Direct imprint. Now, the SJS Direct imprint has been around for over 10 years, and in that decade I've made a lot of progress, but I really haven't moved as far as I really wanted to go, and I believe a small cash infusion could really start helping me to really build the audience that I have been working as related to building up over the last decade. And what I would do as related to the SJS Direct imprint is basically look to start to expand the SJS Direct imprint from a sole proprietorship into an LLC, and I would want to establish it as an LLC so I could be able to do more different business ventures and be able to do different things that I really couldn't do as a sole proprietorship. Now, as I establish the LLC for SJS Direct, what I want to do as related to SJS Direct is basically start looking to improve the quality of many of my products. And one of the first things I want to do after establishing an LLC is go out here and refresh a lot of the older books on the SJS Direct imprint with new covers and new page layouts, because a lot of people complained about the hand-drawn covers, and one of the things I've been trying to do for the last couple of years as I've started to be able to get a little bit more money is go out here and refresh those books with new editions that are of higher quality. Now, I had a viewer a while back ask me if I was going to be able to make paperbacks of the first 5 early Esteem books, and that definitely is on the schedule right now. And again, one of the things that keeps me from being able to do that is being able to get the money to pay a comic artist to do those covers. And what I want to do is be able to use the same artist, Bill Walko, to do all of the refresh covers, and I want to be able to have enough money to be able to pay him to do those refresh covers, but it takes time to be able to get that money together. But with $8 million, that is just a very easy thing to do, being able to get those books refreshed, those 5 Esteem series books, and also I will be able to refresh the last, I think, 2 ISIS series books and maybe 4 ISIS series books, because really want to get those books that Coffee Comics did, the cover refreshes, refreshed once more. Again, I would take the first 5 Esteem series books and the first 5 or 6 ISIS series books and basically make refresh editions. Now, I already did an Amari's Revenge refresh edition, and I would refresh all of those old covers so that all the books could be consistent for a reader to be able to follow by seeing that all the books have the same covers, all have the same page layout, and be able to follow the series and not have a problem as related to the formatting of those series, and be able to go from the first book in the ISIS series and the first book in the Esteem series and see the art being consistent like we have with Shawn Haynes, where basically almost all the Shawn Haynes books all have the same artist, Mike Williams, doing all the covers. That would be part of that plan of looking as related to improving the quality of SJS Direct products as related to what's in the back catalog. And as I improve the quality of the back catalog, what I want to focus on as I'm doing that is expanding the front list. Now, the front list for SJS Direct usually consists of an ISIS series book, an Esteem series book, a Shawn Haynes series book, and also is another novel like An Eternal Night, or sometimes a nonfiction book. And I usually publish 4 books a year, but what I would want to do as I'm publishing those 4 books a year is start to transition into publishing comic books and graphic novels. Now, I really want to focus more on graphic novels because originally the ISIS series, the Esteem series, and the John Haynes series were originally meant to be graphic novels, and that's the next step I would want to take. If I had $8 million, I would look to invest in hiring an artist to go out and be able to make that graphic novel that I originally planned. Now, I originally did some comics. I did Esteem No Good Deed with Bill Walko, and I did John Haynes at Death's Door with Antonio Balderi, and I would start creating comic projects, and I would look to start to creating comic projects as related to the SJS Direct imprint, and looking to create these comic projects basically on an annual basis. And I would be able to do that because I would have the money to be able to run a budget for these books, and I would be able to run a budget for these books every year. If I had $8 million, I would have the capital to go out here and make sure that artists are basically paid in full, and they could just go out here and do their work without any pressure. They could just go out here and have that money to be able to have their bills paid, because one of the things I want to do as a publisher is make sure that artists get paid, because I often hear from many artists, they complain that people will pay them half, they'll pay them, a quarter of things, and they'll get stuck. But over at SJS Direct, whenever I do a project, I don't contact the artist until the money is there. And once the money is there, the artist knows that they're going to get paid, and usually they get paid in full. So artists will have that security with SJS Direct, and you'll have that time to go out here and do that work, because I'm not going to tell somebody to do 60 pages in 30 days. No, I'll give you maybe 90 to 120 days, and I'll stagger it out among the artists so that the books can come out on time in a schedule. And I want to be able to do these books where they're in color, where we have a system where the artist gets the script. Now, after they get the script, they can work on the script, and then once I get the art, they can get the colorist gets the book, and then once the colorist finishes their job, then it goes to the letterer, and then we're going to print. And with the whole print-on-demand systems of places like Ingram Spark and Lulu, I can basically go out here and get SJS Direct comics out faster than I would with traditional printing services. So I want to be able to set up an infrastructure so that I can be able to publish these graphic novels on the regular and be able to make a system where people are consistently paid, and possibly have that product ready to go and it be high quality, and use that as, again, a business venture with a possible thing like a crowdfunding, like a Kickstarter, to be used somewhat like a pre-order, or go out here and basically start after the whole process of doing crowdfunding just for publicity purposes, then use that to possibly go out and then do distribution. Now, that may not do the crowdfunding anyway. It all may just go straight to Amazon or straight to these different distributors. That's what I would want to do to expand the SJS Direct imprint as a business. That's what I would want to do to further build that business. Now, that business, I would be possibly looking to expand promotion. And again, I would be looking to do promotions by doing things like the ads you see in many of my videos. And those ads would basically go from being stuff that I would have in front of a YouTube video to ads that would basically be online and YouTube in front of YouTube ads, or they would wind up on radio or local television channels. So I would be looking to expand the advertising of SJS Direct books. If I had that kind of money, I would be looking to put a small bit of money into that and looking to expand the audience, and maybe starting to put more ads in different types of media. That's another thing I would want to do, if I had that $8 million, look to further expand the SJS brand, letting more people know about SJS Direct books and the mission of the SJS Direct imprint. Now, I would have also gone out as part of the advertising and start doing events like New York Comic Con or events like local events, and then possibly starting out in the tri-state area. That would be another thing I would do as related to going out here and selling the brand. And that's another thing I would be doing, looking to expand the exposure of the SJS Direct imprint. So that's something else I would be doing as related to expanding SJS Direct. Now, social media is where I got my start looking to promote SJS Direct, and I started with my blog, Shawn James, Black Freelance Writer. Then, as I got 2 million hits, I went to YouTube and started building an audience. And I hear a lot of people say that the channel should have gotten over 1 million subscribers years ago. And I believe what happens with YouTube and social media is that they basically wind up shadow banning you, and that's one part of what I had a problem with. And the other issue with YouTube is that being on this whole platform is one of the things that is a major part of the anxiety that I have, because with YouTube, you never know where you stand as related to their arbitrary community guidelines, and anything that you can say years ago can be used against you as somebody looks to false flag your channel, or YouTube or the people at YouTube feel like on a whim they basically want to take you off the platform. So that's a reason why I would be looking to start to look to migrate off the YouTube channel. If I had $8 million, I would definitely start looking to migrate away from the YouTube platform, and I would look to migrate over to my own website, a website that would be a lot like my Shawn James Black Freelance Writer blog, where there would be lots of blogs and articles about the workplace, lots of blogs and articles about publishing, and videos that would talk about the workplace, talk about publishing, not to mention go out and promote things like the SJS Direct imprint books and provide people with sample chapters. That's all would be part of my own website. And again, having your own website is something every person should want to have, because when it comes to social media basically is a toxic environment that makes people be filled with anxiety and stress, because one, you don't know when they'll basically do something to take you off the platform, and any behavior you do could be just something minor or something trivial. Because I've heard people not only on YouTube having problems, I've heard people on Facebook having problems, because Facebook, they'll go dig up a post you wrote 10 years ago saying happy birthday or something minor, and they'll say it violates the community guidelines because this site is basically controlled by dysfunctional bots. And the same thing with YouTube. You basically, again, don't know where you stand, and you don't know where that revenue stream will get cut off, and it's just a lot of stress. So I would be looking to, again, get off of YouTube. And as I look to get off YouTube and all these social media sites, I would look to basically start my own site. And I would basically be, again, lowering my output of content, because if I had $8 million, I wouldn't have to be working every day making content. So the output of videos would definitely drop. And I said this in a video a long time ago. I said if I was to get a full-time job, the output of videos would definitely drop from 2 videos a day to basically a video a week, or maybe 2 videos a week. And I would be able to have time to go out here and focus on developing other projects, and definitely have opportunities to go out here and focus on other business ventures, because I would have the support staff to focus on things like the SJS Direct imprint and making sure that the projects are basically on time, and work with the artists towards and the other staff to getting the projects on time. And I would also have staff to be able to focus on the website, so I wouldn't have to be so hands-on on projects, and I would have more time to go out here and focus on more important business ventures like writing new projects. That's what $8 million of money would do for the SJS Direct imprint and my business ventures. And I would basically be using it to expand building this revenue stream so the money can work for me. And I can also work on developing the image of foundational black Americans and creating more positive images through SJS Direct products. Now, as related to my personal life, again, $8 million would really relieve a lot of the stress I have as related to long-term unemployment, because I wouldn't have to really worry too much about being out of work, because with $8 million, it could basically be enough money to be able to make me feel a little bit emotionally secure as related to my financial security, so I wouldn't have all that anxiety as related to my own fiscal situation. Because one of the things that stresses me out, again, is being out of work for so long and trying to find a job. But if you have money and it's working for you, then you don't have to worry about money. No, you can just go out here and start working on building business ventures. And again, I would look to build the SJS Direct imprint and look to further expand the SJS Direct imprint, and also looking to expand the SJS Direct imprint, possibly start making plans to get out of New York City, because New York City is a very toxic environment these days, and I would be looking to make plans to move out of New York City, because what you want to do is establish your fiscal base. Once you establish the fiscal base to start generating revenue for you, that's when you start looking to try to find a new residence. What you want to do is get yourself economically secure. Then you go out here and start making your moves to find that residence where you can go out here and be able to have a relaxing environment so that you can go out here and not be stressed all the time. Now, some people would sit there and say, oh, you should move first, but that's an emotional response. No, what you want to do is be able to go out here and get the revenue platform going, because again, $8 million in and of itself isn't that much money when you really think about it in the scheme of things. And you need money and a revenue stream to be able in place so that you can go out and start having the money to be able to pay things like home insurance, property tax, have maintenance of property, because some HOAs insist that you have your property maintained, and you really want to work on having that infrastructure in place first before you start making a move elsewhere. So that's another part of the $8 million that would be used. And again, this is just a fraction of the money. I'm not talking about using millions of dollars, just a couple of hundred thousand, and then as the principle for, again, expanding that business, and then possibly looking to expand into other businesses, possibly like franchise restaurants or some sort of business like that, because franchises, if you do manage them well, they can make you money. And there are other ventures I would look to get into, but the whole thing is I'm looking to, again, establish that economic base so that the money is working for you. Because what a lot of people do when they get money like that is they start looking to just use it to blow it on cars and clothes and women, and that's the fastest way to go broke. But if I had $8 million, I would be looking to use it to build at the SJS Direct imprint, hopefully looking to hire black people and put them in different jobs, hire black people and be able to keep some of that money in the black community, and hopefully looking to build this black-owned business, and hopefully look to participate in some group economics. This is what I would do if hypothetically, if I had $8 million, look to, again, finally be able to make those SJS Direct comics I've always wanted to do. Again, that's just with a small fraction of the money, but I would also then again keep investing this money and put away a savings that would be able to try to take care of me as related to my remaining time in this world. I would also want to go out here and possibly maybe go out here and look to help some black kids as related to things and being able to help them go to school and learn a skilled trade, possibly do some sort of scholarship as related to helping them learn a skilled trade, because college, as I see it, really isn't something you want to do as related to these degrees. I mean, maybe I would work with my alma mater, Monroe College, towards creating a fund for giving some kids the ability to go out here and learn the culinary arts, because I always wanted to be a chef, but got my whole thing derailed. So, I mean, I would do that kind of grant for kids, because a grant or a scholarship in writing, I mean, I'm a writer, but the whole thing is I don't really want to do a scholarship in writing, because writing is something that's not going to make a kid money. No, I want them to learn a skilled trade to be able to use their hands, like being in the culinary arts, or something like being an auto mechanic or PC repair. But PC repair you can learn on your own. But I would just want to do something again in that vein. But the whole thing is, if I had the $8 million, I mean, that's what I would, again, look to expand the SJS Direct Imprint. Not going to spend a lot of money on that at all. Just a little bit of money can go a long way if you know how to budget and know how to work logistics. So that's what my plan would be as related to things with the SJS Direct Imprint. I would expand it. I would look to move out of New York City, because New York City is a complete mess at this point. It's overpriced, it's too expensive, and even though I know where everything is, it's just a nightmare to be around. Now I would have to learn how to drive. I'd have to hire somebody to teach me how to drive, and that's something I would have to also put into things. Trying to get my license and stuff like that. But if I had that kind of money, there's a plan behind that money, and the plan that I have for that money would be to do things like, again, expand the SJS Direct Imprint, and I'm not really thinking about going into doing things like I originally wanted to do an All About Nikki pilot, but I see that with Hollywood and the entertainment industry, there would be no way to be able to do this and get distributed. So I would just focus on that business and then focus on some other businesses outside and focus on building those kind of businesses and look to move my life forward and hopefully get away from all of this stress, because $8 million would take away a lot of stress off my back as related to this anxiety as related to long-term unemployment. It would just basically relieve that problem because I could focus on expanding my business and taking my business to the next level. And I hope this answers the question for the viewer of what I would do with $8 million. And it was just a video I wanted to do. Nobody requested this video. I just wanted to do this to really talk about what I would do with that kind of money. So I'm hoping that answers the question for the viewer as related to me and money. And I'm hoping people go out here and pick up the books on the SJS Direct Imprint. You can find those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them at other online booksellers like Draft2Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and you can find them even at big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Isis, Amari's Revenge. The goddess next door is confronted by a Nubian queen out for revenge at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in this inaugural Isis series adventure. Get your copy of Isis, Amari's Revenge in paperback and e-readers at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Esteem Horror in the Hamptons. The aspiring angel tries to escape a house of horrors in this action-packed, all-new Esteem series adventure. Get your copy of Esteem Horror in the Hamptons in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.